നീ തീർന്നടാ, നീ തീർന്നു, ഇനി ഒരു പുഷപ്പ് പോലും നിനക്ക് ജമ്മ ധരിക്കാൻ പറ്റിയില്ല എന്നും പറഞ്ഞ് ഡോക്ടർമാർ ആശുപത്രിയിൽ നിന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു വിട്ട ആ മച്ചാൻ ദേ ജിമ്മിൽ 6 പാക്ക് അടിച്ചു വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ലെറ്റ്സ് വെൽക്കം അലാവത്.
team. Allow it.
Hey bro, what's
Hello,
up?
brother.
Bro, please tell your story towards our audience.
First of all, I'd like to give most thanks to our Lord Jesus Christ for getting me through this, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in the situation where I am right now. You know, having to tell a story about my arm, you know, to be, you know, to get to where to where I am right now, it's just I guess where this journey really happens is just I have a very powerful God that is and he's powerful, and he's the one that pushes me to be able to be great, you know, and to be able to surround ourselves with amazing people like you guys. You know, we are who we surround ourselves with. I was in a toxic relationship where I took medicine to drugs and alcohol. I don't have a memory of it, but had enough of living a life that I don't want to live. None of my pain through drugs and alcohol was that's all I ever knew. And from there onwards, I hit rock bottom. And from rock bottom, I got into a car accident. From a car accident, I flipped my ute. I lost the minus in Navarra. I flipped it. Hand went under my door, outside the window, and then got crushed. So it got crushed, and then so from there I've had like multiple surgeries, all up in here, all up into the hand, all up into my hand here, all up in here. It's all up in my arm here, and just all up in here, but just not all up in there. 10 surgeries within 2 years. 2 years was a struggle, especially having to have surgery and then go into a cast, and then the cast will come off, and then and have to have another surgery, and then have another cast, and then my 10th surgery was my hardest. I guess I put on so much weight. There was a bone that was taken from my hip, and like from here, the skin graft, there was a skin graft that was taken from my thigh and put onto my arm. 10 months from now, I was 123 kgs, and just having to run from a pole to pole was really difficult. You know, I'll lose my breath. I couldn't catch my breath. But then having to, like, especially with my son, you know, having a son, and to be able to not teach him, and I was starting to get depressed because I was overweight. But having to change that mindset of, nah, I'm not gonna feel like this anymore. You know, I'm better than this. I was just a cunt, a big cunt. Can't do this, and can't do this before I even try it. So I guess what switched my mind was my beautiful fiance. When we met, I guess she told me was to go and sign up to the gym. But I was like, no, I can't because of my arm, you know. And then she goes, oh, you know, you don't walk on your hands, so go work out on your legs. But in my head I was going, yeah, she's right, she's really right. But deep down, you know, with my pride and ego, I was like, nah, just, I can't do that, you know, can't do this. The next day, the man was like, yeah, I'll go sign up to the gym. You know, signing up to the gym, and just having to change that mindset, changing that mindset of having to just work on the legs. Nothing wrong with the legs, so bring the legs, make the legs strong. Yeah, it was a struggle throughout my whole journey. Gym, small steps, pushing, just little steps, just from even just 1 kg. And like for this hand, if this hand lift 1 kg or 0.5, this hand will lift 0.5. Because when I first started, I used to lift like 0.5 in like 30 kgs on this slide, like I go like this, and this hand would be strong. But having to just turn, just whatever, because this hand was getting really sore because it was lifting heaps, and this one was lifting little. But having to just change, just to switch that around, and you know, just lift to whatever this arm could lift, just so this, you know, so I wouldn't be sore over here, and just arm is sore over here, and just trying to, you know, just change things around. I guess that's where a lot of things. So yeah, all for good cause, all for good cause, everything for good cause. And this has actually really just made me stronger and a lot happier. I've been so stronger, heaps stronger than before my accident. I can lift way more than I can lift way before my accident. But having to switch that mindset from positivity, switch that negativity into a positivity, and like having to eliminate negativity to gain positivity, because the more that we eliminate that negativity, the more we gain it. So everything that we do begins as a thought. Like waking up in the morning, is really important, because everything begins as a thought. It's what we eat and drink of. So if we wake up in the morning and we eat and drink of whatever if we had a fight with our wife or something, all that stuff beforehand, and think of that first thing in the morning, that's already negativity. And what comes with negativity is abundance of, anger, depression, anxiety, and whatever comes with the darkness. But that's why I tell a lot of people that it's very important that we eat and drink of positivity, and just by waking up in the morning and just giving thanks for the air that we breathe, little things like that. And already that we're already eating and drinking of positivity. And the more that we eat and drink of positivity comes the light. And whatever comes with positivity is abundance of love, laughter, happiness, joy, and whatever comes with the light, So that's why it's very important that we think positivity, and it all comes down also to who we surround ourselves with. So that's why we surround ourselves with amazing people, and just as hungry as we are. So I'm still new. I'm still new to the stuff, but you don't have to be fast to be a good winger, just so much knowledge to be able to give out to the world, and to be able to, to speak life into our brothers and sisters. And like, I say my name is Maka. And like people think it's a Tongan name, but it's short for muck around, So, and that, like, if you guys want to seek me up, my name is Muck Around, and like all I do is just try and motivate and just inspire. Inspire everyone from male, female, dogs, monkeys, whatever. Who knows? So it's all comes down to using this as an inspiration to be able to let people know that it's all good to grow, and you have to allow the failure. We have to allow the failure to be able to grow, because if we don't fail, then how else are we gonna grow? So, and I guess that's why we become a can't, because we're scared of failure. So we gotta just allow those failures to be able to learn from those mistakes and grow, So feels like I shortcutted a bit of that journey, but it's hard to try and explain this journey when I'm not really, just being put on the spot. But hey, we have to allow it. If this is what our gifts are and purpose, to be able to reach out to the community and reach out to whoever's going through a similar situation, to be able to. So it was I had compartment syndrome, so 10 surgeries. I had 10 surgeries all around my hand. I still can't feel much over here. I can feel the vibration, but I can't feel my hand touching the skin. So just all up in here, all up in there, all in my knuckles here. So I couldn't release my knuckles, so they had to rip it open. And I had 5 rods over here. So I have in here I have a middle plate in here, another middle plate in there, and then another middle plate in here. But I guess it comes down to up here. Our mind is a lot stronger than we think. And it's like I say, it's a thought. And that's it. Love yous and God bless yous. Allow it. Yes, sir.
അലാവുദ്ദീൻ്റെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് പഠിച്ചെടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നൊരു കാര്യമുണ്ട്. യു കാൺട്ട് ഡു എന്ന പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവിൽ നിന്നും യു ക്യാൻ ഡു എന്ന പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവിലേക്ക് ലൈഫിനെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നാൽ യു വിൽ ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി ഫീൽ ദ ചേഞ്ച് ഇൻ ലൈഫ്. അപ്പോൾ ഗൈസ്, കോൺക്വർ ദ വേൾഡ് വിത്ത് സക്സസ്. ദിസ് ഈസ് ആർജെ ഗോഡ്വിൻ, ദ മൈഗ്രേറ്റർ മല്ലു. ഹൈ ഫൈറ്റ് ഓൾ സോൾസ്.